Hello, welcome to day 26 of the 30 days of transformation. Today, I wanted to welcome in the spring by talking a little bit about snowflakes and snowballs. All right, you're probably thinking, this chick's gone mad, but I promise you I haven't. Stick with me, okay? Today, I wanted to share a little bit of a metaphor around changing our emotional state, okay? And so, all of us are prone to getting into emotional states, and sometimes those emotional states are not super useful, okay? Sometimes we get ourselves into an emotional state that doesn't help us do whatever it is we need to do or cope with whatever it is we need to cope with. So, for example, there could be a situation where something doesn't go your way and you end up in this state of frustration. But you are probably aware now, whilst you're not frustrated, that when you are frustrated, it isn't easy to get out of that frustration. And it tends to mean that more things go wrong, okay? It's a bit like an avalanche going downhill. Wow, there's some snow metaphors that are going to come out today, okay? So it's like an avalanche going downhill. You're here, things are going wrong, and as one thing goes wrong, the next thing goes wrong, the next thing goes wrong, the next thing goes wrong, and it's like this avalanche running downhill out of control, right? And our emotions can basically be that avalanche, and they can build up and build up and build up. And so for that example of frustration, when you let that emotion build up and build up, you're not actually able to do any of the things that you need to do to get out of the frustration or to deal with whatever has made you frustrated in the first place. So just like that frustration starts an avalanche going downhill, the way to change your emotional state is like a snowflake and a snowball, okay? So one snowflake falls, and then another snowflake, and then another snowflake, and another snowflake, and eventually they all join together to make a snowball, okay? A snowball is just a million, billion, trillion snowflakes joined together, okay? So what I want you to know is that you can treat your emotions like the snowflakes turning into the snowball. And you can treat them like that and stay in the frustration, or you can choose a different emotion, and all you have to do is have one tiny thought or tiny piece of that new emotion, and it is like the snowflake, okay? And it will attract other bits of that emotion, more bits of those emotion, until eventually all those snowflakes turn into a snowball. And all of a sudden you've moved from feeling frustrated to feeling whatever it is that you wanted to feel instead. Now, I'm not suggesting that you have to go from super frustrated avalanche going down the hill to happy, joyful, everything's amazing, rainbows and unicorns. But frustrated is not a resourceful state, okay? A resourceful state is a state that you can get into that will actually help you to move forward, okay? So a resourceful state might be to get into the emotion of accepting that that thing has happened and then ready to move on to the next thing, okay? A resourceful state might be to get into a state where your emotions are set up for action, and as one little thought comes in of how you can do something differently or move past that frustration, the next thought comes in, the next thought comes in, the next thought comes in, and it's like snowflakes forming a snowball, okay? So the next time that you are in an emotional state that you do not want to be in, rather than allowing that avalanche to head downhill completely out of control and become bigger than it needed to be, I want you to find a way to just change one thought or one tiny moment of that emotion to something more useful. Because in the process of changing it to something more useful, it will attract more of those useful things. You'll start to think differently about the situation, and ultimately you will turn your snowflake into a snowball, okay? It'll get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and soon that frustration will cease to exist, and you'll have moved on to that next emotional state that is much more useful than the frustrated one, where when one thing goes wrong, everything else seems to go wrong too. So I just wanted to share that with you. You are 100% in control of your emotional state, but sometimes it can feel so difficult to get out of the ones we don't want to be in. So treat it like a snowflake and a snowball. It's that one little bit, and then it builds up, builds up, builds up, and allows you to move forward. All right, that's it for day 26. Only a few more days coming your way. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.